Every expert was once a beginner, and every fluent speaker once struggled with words. Welcome, my dear friends. Today, I want to talk about something that can change your life, moving from silence to fluency in English. Imagine standing in a room full of people, wanting to speak, but your tongue feels heavy. You know the words in your mind, but they do not come out. You feel shy, nervous, and afraid of making mistakes. But what if I tell you that fluency is not a gift? It is a journey, and anyone can take it. I remember a boy named Jake. He moved to the USA with his family when he was 12. At school, he sat in the last row, silent. He wanted to talk to his classmates, to laugh at jokes, to answer the teacher's questions. But every time he opened his mouth, he felt stuck. He feared that people would laugh at him. Days turned into months, and his silence grew louder. One day, his teacher gave him advice that changed everything. She said, "Jake, don't try to speak first. Just listen. Listen like a child listens to his mother's voice." That night, he searched for English stories on YouTube. He listened to fairy tales, short stories, and conversations. He didn't understand everything, but he kept listening. He repeated words, he copied the sounds, and slowly his tongue became lighter. Listening is the first key. Before a baby speaks, it listens to thousands of words. No baby is born speaking English, Spanish, or any language. They listen, they absorb, and then one day, they say their first word. So, if you want to be fluent, start with listening. Listen to English podcasts, watch movies with subtitles, and enjoy English stories on YouTube. Choose simple ones. Your brain is smart. It will pick up words without you even knowing. As Jake listened more, he started whispering the words to himself. He would stand in front of the mirror and say, "Hello, how are you?" It felt strange at first, but he kept going. Then, one day at school, a classmate named Lily dropped her books. Without thinking, Jake said, "Let me help you." It was just 4 words, but it was a victory. He had broken the silence. Speaking is scary, but remember, mistakes are not bad. They are proof that you are learning. When babies learn to walk, they fall many times. But do they stop? No. They try again. Language is the same. If you fear mistakes, you will stay silent forever. But if you accept them, you will grow. One powerful way to improve is to talk to yourself. Yes, it may sound funny, but it works. Imagine you are explaining your day in English. Today I woke up early, I ate breakfast, I went to work. This small habit trains your mind to think in English. Another trick is to shadow. Shadowing means listening to a sentence and repeating it immediately, copying the accent and tone. Find an English speaker on YouTube, pause after every sentence, and repeat. Your tongue will get used to English sounds. There was another girl, Emily. She wanted to work in a big company, but her English was weak. She knew she had to improve. Every night she watched English interviews. She repeated the sentences. She practiced in front of a mirror, and she recorded her voice. At first, she hated hearing herself, but she didn't stop. Slowly, her confidence grew. After 6 months, she walked into an interview room. This time, she did not feel small. She spoke clearly, and she got the job. Confidence comes from practice. Nobody is born confident. Confidence is built step by step. If you want to be fluent, practice every day. Even if it's just 10 minutes, do it. Listen, speak, and do not stop. Find a language partner. If you don't have one, talk to a pet, a plant, or even a pillow. The goal is to make your mouth move in English. And most importantly, enjoy the process. Language is not just words. It's connection. It's emotion. It's life. Read English books. Listen to songs. Watch funny shows, and make English a part of your world. So, my dear friends, do you want to stay silent or do you want to speak freely? The choice is yours. But remember, fluency is not a dream. It is a journey, and every step you take brings you closer. Today you are listening. Tomorrow you will be speaking. And one day you will tell your own success story. What will be your first step towards fluency? Maybe your first step will be listening to an English story on YouTube tonight. Maybe you will stand in front of a mirror and say your first English sentence out loud. Maybe tomorrow you will greet a stranger in English without fear. Fluency is not magic. It is not something you wake up with one day. It is like building a house, brick by brick, word by word. And the best part? You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be better than yesterday. Let me tell you about Noah. He worked as a waiter in a restaurant. Many customers spoke English, but he struggled. Every time he tried, words came out wrong. One night, after making a mistake with a customer's order, he felt ashamed. He told himself, "I will never be good at English." But then he made a decision. Instead of quitting, he started small. He learned 5 new words every day. He listened to conversations between customers. He repeated their sentences in his mind. At home, he practiced by watching English vlogs on YouTube and mimicking the speakers. One day, a tourist asked him, "What's your favorite dish here?" Instead of panicking, he smiled and answered smoothly. That small victory gave him confidence. Months later, he became the restaurant's manager because he could now communicate fluently with everyone. You see, learning English is not about knowing every word. It's about making small improvements every day. 5 new words today, a short conversation tomorrow, a full sentence next week. Another great way to improve is storytelling. Try telling a short story in English, even if it's very simple. Start with something like, "Yesterday I went to the store. I bought apples. They were very sweet." When you do this, you train your brain to think in English. Also, do not forget to write. Writing helps you organize your thoughts. Keep a simple English diary. Write about your day, your dreams, your goals. If you can write it, you can say it. Remember, no one is watching, no one is judging. The only thing stopping you is fear, and fear is nothing but a small voice in your head. You are stronger than that voice. So, I ask you again, will you stay silent or will you start speaking? The journey from silence to fluency is waiting for you. The first step is small, but once you take it, the road becomes easier. One day, you will look back and smile because you will see how far you have come. Maybe your first sentence will be, "I can do this." Or maybe, "Today is a good day to start." Whatever it is, say it out loud. Feel the words. Let them become a part of you. Language is not just about speaking. It is about feeling comfortable with words. The more you use English, the more natural it will feel. Imagine a river. In the beginning, the water moves slowly, but as it flows, it becomes stronger. Your fluency is like that river. Every word you say, every sentence you form adds to your flow. I remember Olivia. She was a shy girl who never spoke in class. She feared making mistakes, but she had a secret. Every night when the world was asleep, she talked to herself in English. She stood in front of the mirror and pretended to be a news reporter. At first, it felt silly, but with time, her words became smoother. One day, her teacher asked, "Who wants to read?" Without thinking, Olivia raised her hand. As she read, her voice did not shake. Her heart did not race. Why? Because she had been preparing for this moment in silence. And now her silence had turned into confidence. That's the power of practice. No one is born fluent. Every great speaker, every confident person was once a beginner, but they did one thing differently. They kept going. So how can you do the same? Here's a simple but powerful strategy. Listen every day. Find a short English story on YouTube. Listen to it twice, once with subtitles and once without. Let your ears get used to the sounds. Repeat what you hear. Choose one sentence from the story. Say it out loud. Copy the way the speaker says it. Speak to yourself. Describe your day in English. Even if it's just, "Today I ate breakfast. It was good." Every small sentence builds fluency. Write it down. Keep a notebook. Write one new English sentence every day. If you can write it, you can say it. Talk without fear. If you make a mistake, smile and try again. Mistakes mean you are learning. One day, you will surprise yourself. You will speak without thinking. You will express yourself without fear. And in that moment, you will realize you are no longer silent. You are fluent. So, I ask you one last time, what will be your first step today? Will you start listening? Will you start speaking? Will you take that small step toward fluency? Because the truth is, the only thing standing between you and fluency is the decision to begin. And today is the perfect day to start.